Hello, I'm Isaac Keith Martinez, and welcome to Isaac's Haunted Beard. I noticed that not all horror filmmaking legends start off making horror films. Some of them start off making comedies, and some of them start off making dramas, and eventually they make a horror film. And those that do start off making horror films don't always start off making good horror films. Sometimes it takes a while for them to find their groove. I would like to share with you 5 horror films that are debut movies by horror legends that are just terrific. Wonderful debut films. Some of them by directors that have long careers, and some of them by people who have shorter careers that I hope make many, many more films. But what they all have in common is that they are really terrific debut horror movies. Okay. The first one is Eli Roth's Cabin Fever. The first time I heard of Eli Roth is not because of Cabin Fever. I had bought a Trauma DVD called Bloodsucking Freaks. It's a horror film from the 70s, and there's an audio commentary on that disc, and it wasn't by the director, and it wasn't by the cast. It was credited to film historian Eli Roth, which was a name I wasn't familiar with. And I listened to it because I love the movie Bloodsucking Freaks, and I was so intrigued. His commentary is very insightful and is very entertaining, and I thought, wow, this guy really knows his stuff. That would be great if this guy made a movie. And he did. He made this movie. I'm not going to review this movie or any other movies that I'm going to share with you today because I know you know your stuff, I know you've already seen this movie and you already know what it's about. So you're here just to spend time with me and to hear what my favorite debut horror films are. So this is one of them, Cabin Fever. Number 2, Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm a fan of Rob Zombie, the musician. I like his band, White Zombie, and I like his solo career. And over the years, one of the things I liked about them was their music videos. Their music videos were like short movies, and many of them were directed by Rob Zombie. And when I finally saw House of a Thousand Corpses, I was delighted that that movie felt like his music videos. That's a big part of why I love that movie and why I think it's a great debut, because it has a style that no one else has, and it's a very recognizable style. You look at it and you go, that's very Rob Zombie. The fact that he didn't repeat that with any of his other movies is what keeps this movie special. I think if he did that for all his movies, then that would just become his thing, and it potentially had the possibility of like getting old. But it never had the chance to get old because he only did it once, and he did it with this one, House of a Thousand Corpses. Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead. Of the trilogy, this one is the scary one. Let's face it, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness are funny and fun. And granted, there are some moments in this movie that are funny, but I think they're more subtle. And I think this one's just scary, and it holds up well. And it's such a simple idea, you know? A bunch of kids get stuck in a cabin in the woods and get possessed and kill each other. Can't get more terrifying than that. It's well performed by young Bruce Campbell, and it is wonderfully filmed. It's a work of art. Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead. Wes Craven's The Last House on the Left. This is another movie from the This is a movie from the 70s, and for me, a big reason why this movie holds up so well is the villains do a great job, specifically David A. Hess. And one of the things I love the best about David Hess is that he looks like he's having fun, which to me is very scary when the bad guy looks like he's having so much fun being bad. And it never gets old. I think this is a work of art, and I think it's a very disturbing film. Last House on the Left. Finally, we have Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Of the 5 films, this is the one that I'm not going to guarantee that everyone out there has seen it. So I will highly recommend that those that you have not seen it, seek it out. It's a giallo. It's a mystery. You know, there's a killer, and you don't get to find out who the killer is until the end of the movie. There's hints that's peppered throughout the film to suggest who it might be, and it's surprising how often you are misdirected. It's beautifully shot. It's a gorgeous film, and one of my favorite things about Dario Argento is this tidbit of information that the master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, when he was alive, he was asked in an interview, and I'm going to paraphrase here, maybe incorrectly, who do you think of all the new upcoming filmmakers is someone to keep an eye out for? And he said Dario Argento. And at the time that he said that, this was the movie that he had seen that he was talking about that inspired him to give that answer. So all these years later, you look at it, and it's still impressive. So if you haven't already seen it, I know you've seen Suspiria. See this one too. Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Plus it has a beautiful title. There you go. 5 debut horror films by horror filmmaking legends that I think hold up well and are very, very awesome. Please follow me on Twitter at Isaac's Haunted Bee, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Isaac's Haunted Beard on YouTube. Thank you, friends. Bye-bye.